Well, some time has passed. It's still the same day, but later on. I did get this line in here, and it's all mounted up, and that wasn't really a big deal. It was just a matter of getting enough hands to hold everything and get everything started. But I took off the hydraulic line that had that cut in it. Anyway, it goes from down there up to this block that feeds your PTO and brakes. And anyway, I thought that I would go ahead and run to town, you know, since the camera died, and get that line made, and we'd be in business. But I tried 2 different hose shops and nobody had both fittings in stock, so now I have to wait a week until they get the fitting. I didn't want to cobble it together. I wanted the right stuff, so we're just going to go ahead and wait. But I think we can go ahead and press on here and get some of this other stuff put back together. I can put the filter housing back in here and probably maybe just leave it hang loose, so I got a little bit of give to work, you know, to feed that other line up there. That it comes up top and between those two, and then it goes in here with a 90-degree fitting. So it's easy to get to on the top. It's just going to be, you know, feeding it up through there without hitting anything. But I also want to rescue our headlight wires, which are trapped terribly in there. They need to be a little bit better than that. That's not the way it should be. They're really messed up back in there, and I don't think the headlights work. They asked me to, or one of the workers asked if I could get some of the headlights working. So if it's not very good back there here in a minute, I think I'll just cut the ends off of whatever kind of cobbling is going on there, and then pull everything through and then refeed it back down there, instead of trying to unhook this connector, which has been connected since 1972. So I think that I would have much better results just leaving that alone. So anyway, I guess I'll start with that, and then we will start reassembling our filter housing, and then that way we can get this all sealed up again, where the only thing's open is that line, and I'll just keep rags or something stuffed in there. So let's see what we come up with. There we go. Alright. How are we going to free this up? I may end up having to take the plug loose anyway. I can see it there. I can see this homemade brake line they made, which is fine. It just needs a little bit of finesse, I think. See, we're stuck behind two lines, and I don't like that. I want these wires to be where they're not going to rub. There we go. There we go. There's one. Okay, keep it down low. There we go. I'm gonna get this through there. Oh, come on. Almost out of there. There we go. There we go. There we go. Now we can make this more better. Hopefully it's not too smudged up, that you can still see. I got the wiring fed through there in a different fashion. I think will be better. We can lay it where we want it. But I need to pull it back out and work on it, because that plug does not have all the wires connected still. It's broke off at the loom on the other side, so we'll work on that sometime before we put it back together. I guess let's work on getting our filter housing O-ring changed, and then we'll try to put this all back together. So we got this nut broke loose here. which you have to do, because this actually is one you're going to have to turn the tube all the way out like we did on the 1855. It's 1 7/8 is the wrench I used. And you also have to take this bracket off because you don't have enough room now to get it all the way around. So we got to take that off too. And try not to get everything covered with dirt. Is this going to work? Yes. Okay. For some reason I was thinking that my 1855 had 4 bolts, but I might have just dreamed that. Look at this mess. Now one would think that we would clean this up a little bit, and we might, but let's see here. Do a little scraping on it. Might be a mistake, I don't know. If we make it too nice, they won't recognize it when I bring it back, so. We want to keep that part clean at least. Alright. Let's just go ahead and unscrew this. That'll make it a little less awkward. Alright. Where's our very greasy tube? And our O-ring. Let's clean up our tools first. Alright. Ooh, very brittle, flattened out O-ring. So, worth the time to replace it, because that's just another problem that we don't need later on. And we've done about everything else. So here's your part number if you need an O-ring. Comes in a bag of 5. I guess this is better. Here's the specs. 1.475 ID. So that's what we'll do. I don't think I had any of these when I did my 1855. I think I just matched one up, so I'm glad to have a few on hand now. Let's see here. Come on. There we go. It's in there. Let's get a little grease. Clean this up. Or, not clean it up, but grease it up before we put it in. That's fine. Let's put this on as much as we can. And let's see here. Get one more out of it. Oh, that's a dangerous game. I don't know that we want that. Nope. So we got to go back here. Then we got to turn this nut in. But we'll wait to do the final tightening until we get it on the tractor where we want it. So, let us see. What do we want to do next? We want to put the bracket back on. Again, I feel like maybe I should clean that up, but I'm afraid if I start cleaning, I won't know exactly where to stop. So we're just gonna, you know, they own a power washer. They can do whatever they want to do. Oop. Okay. Okay, now we need to put this hose on before we tighten this back up, or we're going to just be fighting the whole time. And I forgot that those two clamps were a piece of crap, so I'm going to have to get new ones of those, but I can put those on later. Just unscrew them and tighten them on. But let's get that hose slipped on. Again, if you need this short hose, there's the part number. This old rotten red one started to tear when I was taking it apart. Might just have to go ahead and tear it the rest of the way. Which of course it won't do now, because that's what we want it to do. I don't understand why. There we go. There we go. Yes. So that was well worth our effort when you're now covered with oil. So I'll probably have to clean the camera so you can keep seeing what we're doing. Well, it looks clean. I hope it really is clean. I can never tell. But we'll go ahead and put this on. Oh boy. I think every time I touch it, I feel like I'm making it worse, but okay. How do we want to do this? Let's pull it back out of the top. Let's get this started in here. There. Okay, now rotate that up. Rotate there. Oh, why? Why? There we go. There we go. Now our life is back on track. I started to question it there for just a little bit. Now you see. Okay, sure. Let's drop all the tools on the ground and have them flip far away. That's what we want. That goes there. That goes there. If I don't go get that socket while I'm thinking about it, I will wonder where it went for the next 7 years. So, guess I'll get up and go get that. Okay. What have we got going on? We got this up there. Can we get this? We need to tighten it up enough that we can then in turn tighten this piece. So we're gonna give it one of those deals. Now we can tighten this 1 7/8. And I do remember doing this now in 1855, because I remember how awkward this gigantic wrench was in here. And I remember wishing that there was a better way. Oh, come on, almost. Wishing that I had gotten it closer before I tried it like this. And I did not do that. Okay. Will this go? No. Oh, geez. This is miserable. Get out of here, buckets. There. That's how we did it. Oh, come on, you. There. Almost. There. Did it. Okay. So we got that end connected. We've got a good hose clamp for here, so we can go ahead and connect that if we're so moved to, which I think we are, because we want this done enough that we don't forget about it. Because remember, we have to wait a week now for parts, which is absurd, but okay, sure. Remember, in my 1855 video, you want to tighten those clamps till they start smoking. And then you know you're dialed in to the right amount of tension. Clamps we need. And I think I also ordered this top gasket because the filter I got last time did not have that, because I got it at Napa. And I feel like it's necessary to replace it because it's almost flat. So there again, they usually come with the Agco filters. If you need it separately, there's the part number. And we'll gouge this out of here. That's pretty darn flat. I bet you can't tell it on camera or see the difference between the two, but it's pretty flat. Oh, I didn't want that. I feel it. It's rolled in the back. Let's try again. Let's pull it off. Let's set it in the back first. That would be the smart thing to do. Then we can watch what's happening out here. Amazing. It's almost like that's a smart thing to do. I was going to leave all this loose so I could get that hose in, but I think I can get it in there as is. I think I'll go ahead and put the filter back on just so that it's sealed up. I think it'll be fine. I can get that line in. Remember those words when I'm swearing and throwing things and animals are singing. Remember that I was wrong. But we're going to put some grease on this, because if you don't, these things can glue themselves on to the point that you're going to wish that you had done something differently with your life. So we want to make sure we lube that up. Lubrication is the key. I think we're good. See, every time I touch something, I feel like I'm making it less clean. I touch it to try to clean it up. And maybe I'm too particular. You know, average Joe owner, he would slap this sucker together with mud in the bottom of the housing and, you know, sand, gravel. Does not matter. But I cannot bring myself to do such a thing. I have to feel like I've done it correctly, even if I didn't. Like to feel like it. Where did I put my wrench? Okay, sure, screwdriver. See, everything on this tractor is bent, so I have no level surface to put something on. The step is bent down, the toolbox is bent, So every time I set something on a flat surface, it goes away. And I don't like that because I like piling things on flat surfaces. There. Oh, come on. How do we want that? Come on. Probably good enough, probably too much, but that's what we're rolling with. We're going with it. Let's wipe some of this off so that it has a chance to dry. I want to be able to tell whenever we finally fire this up, I want to be able to make sure that it's not leaking. So we're going to spray that all down again. The magical dry juice. All right, so we have it back together as far as we can go. We got our O-ring changed in our filter housing. We got our washer put in. We got our new hose here. We need to get a couple clamps. We're waiting on our hose from down there to that block that feeds the brakes and PTO. Once we get that, then we can put the oil back in. Try to start it again, see if we have any more horrendous leaks that are keeping us from doing what we're supposed to. And then I think we can finally start checking pressure, make sure that everything's the way it needs to be. If we need to add a shim back to that relief valve, we will. And then I think it'll be good enough that we can run it around and test it for a little bit and make sure that we don't blow this line, because that is the original reason that it came. It came because this line keeps blowing, but then it was just leaking so bad that they were just kind of over it, and I think that's what pushed them over the edge to finally just bring it over here. So anyway, this is a brand new line that they just put on, so in theory it should last a little bit. So we just have to get it all buttoned back up, put the oil in, and then give it a try, and we'll see if we can make it fail. If we can, then we didn't fix it, and if we can't, we'll send it back home, and then I'm sure in a few days it'll probably fail there and make me look like an idiot. But either way, we've definitely improved it, because it was unusable as is. It was just leaking way too much oil. It just poured out. So I think we've got this in about as good a shape as it can be. So like I said, as soon as we get that last hose, we will fill it back up with oil and do all our testing, and then hopefully this thing is fixed and can be out of there, or out of here, I should say. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.